All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Chakwadash. Giving double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Peace and salutations to the Akim, the brethren out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth in 100% sincerity. And peace and salutations to the few and sincere sisters who believe in this gospel. So I want to entitle this lesson, "This is how women will end up in Jacob's trouble." So I got two videos here, right? And this is basically going into the pride and the haughtiness, the arrogancy of the women in Babylon the Great, especially the Israelite woman, starting with the so-called black woman, but even going down to the so-called Hispanic woman, right? The pride of these women is going to fall right along with, Esau, Edom, who they have entrusted themselves so much in when it comes to,
please sign in to your vehicle.
when it comes to what they believe in and what they serve, right? Because you got a lot of women out here on Instagram, speaking that queen, mother, goddess madness. You got a lot of women out here saying they don't need men, right? Well, let me show you a couple of clips here, right? I'm gonna show you the pride of these women first.
It's crazy how men really feel like telling us that we're gonna end up alone forever is an insult. Y'all really think that that's an insult for us? At this point, that's what we want. We want to be left alone because y'all are embarrassing. We are embarrassed. We are disgusted and embarrassed. Okay? In reality, we don't really need y'all for nothing no more. We don't want y'all for company because we enjoy our own company. We make ourselves laugh. We don't need y'all to have kids with because most of us single mothers anyway. So we okay with that at this point. Fuck on ourselves better than y'all can. We could buy ourselves whatever we want. So in reality, we don't really need y'all. So yes, you're right, sir. We are gonna end up alone, and we're okay with that. We're okay with that. All right, because until the good Lord wants to send out a new batch, we'd rather be alone. I promise it's not an insult. Fuck out of here.
Now, this same chick right here, I guarantee you she got a dude that she's smashing right now, right? She got another dude who she using for attention, time, right? To boost her confidence, to boost her, how she feel up about herself, right? See, women, when you understand how valuable you are as a man, you understand that women can use you for way more things than we as men can use a woman for. Men typically can only use women for sex, right? And I'm talking about like using as misusing, right? Or, getting something out of them, right? Typically, men can really only use women for sex. But women can use men for time, attention, money, ego boost, dates, food, getting their bills paid, getting their rent paid, and all of these various different things, right? So I guarantee you that this woman has a man or men somewhere that she is putting for her own use, right? And another thing about women too, women will go the fuck crazy if they stop receiving attention from men. If women walk down the street, if a woman walks down the street and she walks by 20 men and not one of them look at her or say hi to her or anything, this motherfucker's gonna go crazy. She ain't gonna be able to know what to do. She ain't gonna know what to do. So all it is, women don't need men, and you know what I'm saying, they can freak themselves better than men and all of that shit. Okay, all right. Look, if you deal with women, man, you know the truth. You know what's really going on, right? But let's look at this video. And this this video is quite humorous, right? So let's get into it.
It's gonna take
We'll just cuddle each other tonight.
With light running out fast, the women are no closer to finding a beach to set up camp.
It's right near me.
I think what
Oh my god, there's a caiman!
Though potentially deadly to humans, a crocodile of this size could provide tens of thousands of calories for the women, who have barely eaten in days. The women decide to walk away from this potentially life-saving feast.
That is dinner here.
They ain't even get the that.
Hold up, look, watch the niggas, watch the niggas.
The little bastard got close, man. He's not scared of us.
You're in. Here we go, puppy dog. Yes. Go puppy dog. Get in there, boys.
We can't eat.
please sign in to your vehicle before driving.
They're just crying
We
already.
have nothing to drink. Because we can't boil it to purify it and sterilize it.
This is so fucked up.
The women have circled back to Coconut Beach for a second time.
Dumbasses. They got lost and in the back they started twice.
The women have now been without water for more than 48 hours, and they are
Y'all bitches going down.
Right. In real life, that's what they only have one more night. They go fishing nets and fishing.
Them niggas is having a blast.
Look at them nuggets.
After almost 2 weeks without a meal, the group is at the point of starvation. If they don't
You know the
eat
funny
soon,
part?
there's a
There's two pigs show up. They don't even kill them and eat them, or unalive them and eat them. They name them. And I think they planted them for them.
Yes, that's
They
what I
felt
was
bad
about
for
to
them.
tell you.
They're like, here, we'll drop two piglets off. Because why would there be a little piglet on a remote desert island?
They listen. The producers felt so fucking bad for them. They gave them pigs.
Right, and they wouldn't unalive them. And then they eventually got fish from, there was a fisherman, like a random actual fisherman that wasn't part of the groups, and then he threw him some fish.
Oh hell no!
No, he was hired too.
My thing is, them men was having a ball, and them women was sitting there crying their eyes.
All right, y'all saw that, man. That was hilarious. That video right there is funny as hell. That's hilarious, right? They didn't know what the hell to do. Them women didn't know what the hell to do. They couldn't start no fire. They ain't had no water. They ain't had no food because they too scared of everything. That's another thing. Like see, it's easy for women to talk shit when you live in a society that was built by men for the comfort of, mainly for the comfort of you women, right? Because Elder Apostle Gabar, he said it plenty of times that these cities, they're really built for women. They're built for the woman's comfort, right? She can go to the store, get whatever food she needs. She can go to the store, buy some water, get her beauty products. Whatever the hell she needs, she has access to it via going to the store in her car, right? Or getting on her phone and ordering it off of DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, whatever, right? Hell, you can order damn near anything on DoorDash. You can get plenty of things on DoorDash straight from a store delivered to your front door, right? So, yeah, like the woman in the first video, they willing to talk that shit in comfort, sitting in your car, right, with AC. Can drive to the store and get whatever you need, right? But what's gonna happen when shit hit the fan and there's no access to these same comforts and luxuries that you have access to right now. What's gonna happen? You motherfuckers is gonna be looking like them bitches in the second video. Don't know what the fuck to do. Don't know what the fuck to do. You finna sit on this motherfucker and die. You finna die because you scared of your environment. See, that was the difference between the women and the men. The women were just so fucking scared of their environment that they let that shit, you know, they let that shit drive them to starvation and dehydration. Y'all saw that one girl, she about to faint because they ain't drink no water and they ain't had no food. But then the men, on the other hand, the men, they got the fire, they got the food, they fishing, they done caught a crocodile, even though, you know, that's going off. We ain't gonna be, in them days, we ain't gonna be eating no goddamn crocodiles and nothing like that. But hey, shit, you can come across some water and you can fish, we're gonna get some fish. They couldn't even do that. You know what I'm saying?
Please sign in to your vehicle.
So what you women gonna do when shit hit the fan? Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 3, starting at verse 16. It says, "Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet," right? You see how proud these women are today because they're in comfort, right? You know, they walking around with they, you know, with they scantily clad clothing, got the booty shorts on, leggings, you know, walking around switching. You know, you even see some of these chicks, they walk around and they switch in the way to where they ass jiggle with every step. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, they're in that comfort. You know, they think that they in good case, they the shit. And as of right now, yeah, they good. Right? But what's gonna happen when it all hit the fan? What they gonna do then? And there was some chick talking about some, oh yeah, these girls ain't from Texas. You bitches from Texas ain't gonna do shit neither. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of you motherfuckers, ain't none of you women in Babylon, America is gonna do nothing. Right? I'll give it like this. Maybe some of y'all women that was raised in the country on the farm, you know, and y'all were taught to be a little resourceful. I'll give y'all that, but that's only gonna go so far. But you chicks that's been raised in the city, oh, y'all fucked. You chicks that be talking about some, you don't want to go outside because you don't like bugs, you is fucked. You're through. You're done for. Right? Verse 17. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. Right? That's why she walk around, she can't grow no hair like that. Because of her haughtiness, because of their arrogancy and their wickedness, the Lord cursed them with baldness. Verse 18, it says, "In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cauls, and their round tires like the moon, the chains, the bracelets, and the mufflers, the bonnets, and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands, and the tablets, and the earrings, the rings, the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils." This is clearly talking about Eve. Eve wears all of these exact things today, especially the bonnets. You know what I'm saying? Eve would come outside in these big ass, square ass sunglasses. Sunglasses bigger than her head. One lens is bigger than her head. You know what I'm saying? That's what she come out with. Right? You know, they love fashion and everything like that. And again, it's not to say it's anything wrong with, you know, women, you know, getting dressed up, looking nice and everything like that. That's cool. But as in the first video, a lot of you women have the same attitude or mindset as the woman in the first video. right? To where you have made yourselves an enemy to your own nation. You have made yourselves an enemy to your own men because you've bitten the fruit, right? The forbidden fruit that this devil has given to you, right? Which is to come up against your own men and your own nation in wickedness and with arrogancy. Verse 24, it says, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. The men shall fall by the sword, and the mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Right, in Isaiah 4:1, this really goes with chapter 3, right? And it says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Right, so in that day of calamity, man, these women are going to be coming after men heavy, right? The remaining men, because a lot of these niggas who they see, women have the luxury of dealing with the thug. Women have the luxury of dealing with the nigga who ain't responsible, right? Women have that luxury. You know what I'm saying? They go after them because they see sex appeal in those kind of men. That's really why they go after those kind of guys, right? But them same niggas that gonna get shipped off to war, them YNs, they gonna get shipped off to the Middle East to die. The ones that remain over here, they gonna starve, or they gonna get fucked up by Esau Edom. And in that day, they gonna see that the men of the Lord, the prophets who was preaching his word, they gonna see that, oh, these are the men who we need to surround ourselves with. These are the men who we need to be in alignment with. And a lot of you women are gonna get rejected in that day. Right? The woman up top, she remain like that, she gonna get rejected in that day. She gonna get rejected. It's a lot of you women who you think, you know, because you pretty, got a pretty face, a fat ass, big titties, you got a bunch of simps running after you. You know what I'm saying? You can have your way with these suckers out here. Hey, a lot of y'all you're not gonna be accepted by the men of the Lord in that day. The men who you really gonna want to be down with in that day. You're not gonna be accepted. Because we ain't saying you're going to be alone. We saying you're going to get judged. Right? This is the book of Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 10. It says, for the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir, right? So the men are going to be the most valuable, if I want to say assets, but the most valuable things in that day. Specifically the men of the Lord. Specifically men of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right, who are making videos like this to tell you what's going on and what's going to happen, right? These men are going to be the most valuable in that day. It ain't the Pookies and the Ray Rays. It ain't the high value man, the nigga who got riches and money and everything like that. Them niggas ain't going to know what to do. They going to lose all of that, right? Esau going to run them pockets via the MOTB. Esau gonna bring a lot of these niggas low. You know? Especially these simps and suckers. They ain't gonna know what the fuck to do. This is Isaiah chapter 32, starting at verse 1. It says, "Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land," right? It says a man shall be in hiding place from the wind, right? The destructive wind, or judgment, or destructions. A man is going to be a hiding place. So yeah, these women getting online, because you got some dudes who are saying, like, they go around like these nightclub spots or whatever, and they ask women, would you live on an island with only women? And you got the women saying, yeah, I'll move there tomorrow. I love to live in a place like that with only women, right? Had them watch that video. Had them watch that second video, because they think, see, women have the luxury to talk how they want to talk because they're comfortable. Think shit is comfortable, right? Everything is comfortable. So really, when they say that they'll move to an island with just women, they'll move to an island with just women as long as the men build the shit up for them and they just leave, right? Or, they just come around to drop, to drop rod on them. Because you see in the comments women that say, I'll move there, but, we ain't got to get rid of all of the men. We can keep some of the men around and shit like that. Because, yeah, look, man, women need the rod of correction in their life, man. Women need that. They need that. They yearn for that, man. When you really understand women and how they really are, women go looking for that. Women look for that before they look for a serious, committed relationship. You know what I'm saying? They try and get that out the way first. Let's say you got a woman, she's newly single. Let's say she got out of a relationship. She been out for like 1, 2, 3 months. Shit, sometimes even 1 or 2 weeks. But, we can be generous and say she's been out of a relationship for 2 or 3 months and she been to herself. The first thing she gonna go look for is that ride. That's the first thing she gonna go look for. She not looking for another relationship. She looking for the ride. You know what I'm saying? Contrary to popular belief, all of these women ain't looking for relationships. They ain't looking to be in committed relationships with men. But they all trying to get piped down. Best believe that. They all want to get piped down. They need that. Women enjoy sex more than men. I firmly believe that. And it makes sense too, right? Because they're the ones who they gotta, birth children and everything like that. And that's a painful process. So, if sex wasn't more pleasurable to them, to where they forget that the possibility that she can get pregnant and she got to go through that 9 months and then that delivery period, if it wasn't as pleasurable as it is to them, we wouldn't be fruitful and be multiplying. So women definitely enjoy sex way more than men do, right? They need that. This is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. And it says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure," right? So wisdom and knowledge. Who are the men who have wisdom and knowledge? The prophets, the men of the Lord. We're the ones who got that wisdom and knowledge of what to do and how to move when this time hits. We're going to know. We're going to be in the know. And majority of people, such as the majority of these Americans, they're not. They're not going to be in the know. They're not going to know what to do and how to move in that day. The Lord has gifted his prophets with that knowledge, with that wisdom. Right? So embrace it, man. Even though it may seem a little bleak when it comes to women, to certain brothers and everything like that. You know, the shit that we may go through or bullshit that we may run into, hey man, these women are gonna get in line and they're gonna get in order soon enough. Very soon. Definitely when SHTF. So hey, just stay strong, stay rooted, stay grounded in this truth and in this foundation, man. You're gonna be alright. So Lord willing, this video lesson was edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakodash. Until next time.